nke ikpeazụ Mazi Nnamdi Kanu edegolu leta wee degalụ onye isi ala mba Amerịka wee si agbata ọsọ enyemaka naanị Igbo na ọ bụrụ naanị n'ugwu Hausa ka a na-egbusisi ndị mmadụ na ife a na-egbunya o degidere mma gụpụtara gị ha ncha ihe emekịta anụnwa bụ ịgbanye data gị asị nke abụrụkwa nke a na-asị madam niile ekwuka maka nya bụ ife ga-ewe m oge ịgụpụta mana achọ nka ngụọ ya maka ụfọdụ n'ime unu na-adị enwe mmasị agụmihe ọnime mara ama na kemgbe pastọ Ezekiel ji wee kpọọ Donald Trump n'ife onyonyo ya gbata ọsọ na ndị alakụba egbusisie na ndị mmadụ n'ugwu nya ndị a na-eyi ọha egwu tọrọ na ha egbusie na ndị mmadụ n'ugwu Hausa ịmara ọ bụrụ so naanị n'ugwu Hausa ha na-egwukwu na ndọwa anyanwụ Naijiria ọ wee bụ na nka na-achọ ka m wetara gị ọpdeti na Trump ezigokwa ndị ọrụ agha n'obere oge ha atọ na Naijiria nya ka m na-achọzikwa ka m kwuo wee fụzie leta Mazi Nnamdi Kanu nọ n'ụlọ ndị ọrụ nchekwa DSS leta o delu wee degalụ Trump o yelu Trump aka site na embassy ndị Amerịka tụrụ onwe arụ ana ka ngụọ ya ka ịfụzie ife o dele ebe a nke a bụrụ ife onyonyo nkeji na-abụ gee ntị ka ngụpụtara gị ife o dele hapụ mkpọtụ na ị na-anụ mmiri na-ezo o wee sị Mazi Nnamdi Kanu detained at State Security Services SSS headquarters Abuja, Nigeria nya na ụlọ ọrụ aloijimakọ ka esi were nya bụ ife odezie November 6, 2025 ịhọpụta n'ọta ata ka ede ya o wee de His Excellency Donald J. Trump, 47th President of the United States of America, the White House, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, New York, Washington, D.C., 20,500. Delivered through Embassy of the United States, 1075 Diplomatic Drive, Central District Area, Abuja, Nigeria. Your Excellency, I extend warm greetings to you in the name of the Judeo-Christian faith and values we both hold dear. As a practicing Jew and a believer in the Judeo-Christian heritage that shaped Western civilization, I was honored to attend your campaign event in Des Moines, Iowa, in January 2020. Your bold declaration on October 31st, 2025, that the United States is prepared to act militarily and cut aid if Nigeria fails to protect its Christian population, has ignited hopes in the hearts of millions who have been abandoned by the world. You have seen the truth. Christians in Nigeria face an existential threat. I write to you now to reveal that this genocide is not confined in the north. It has metamorphosed into the Igbo heartland, where Judeo-Christians are being systematically exterminated under the guise of counter-terrorism. I am Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, a peaceful, non-violent civil rights movement rooted in Judeo-Christian principles. Since 2015, I have survived 4 documented assassinations attempts by the Nigerian state. On 20 June 2021, I was forcibly abducted from Kenya in an extraordinary rendition operation, an act that violated Kenyan and international law. As condemned by the Kenyan High Court ruling, petition number Keneko, despite this ruling, I was illegally transported to Nigeria and thrown into solitary detention in Abuja without a valid subsisting charge, and for the sole crime of defending my people's right to life, faith, and self-determination under international law. On 13th October 2022, the Court of Appeal in Abuja, Okwafa case number, discharged and acquitted me of all charges, ruling that my detention was illegal, unconstitutional, and a gross violation of international law. The court ordered my immediate and unconditional release, yet I remain in solitary detention over 1,596 days since my abduction. Okay. The Nigerian government defied its own judiciary, refusing to release me as ordered. I was never released, so there was no rearrest, only continued unlawful imprisonment in blatant violation of constitutionally protected double jeopardy safeguards under Section 36(9) of the 1999 Constitution and Article 7(2) of the African Charter. The UN Working Group of Arbitrary Detention, opinion number 25/2022, declared my continued imprisonment arbitrary, unlawful, and politically motivated. This is not justice. This is state captured of rule of law to silence a Judeo-Christian voice. Or say a hidden genocide against Judeo-Christians in eastern Nigeria. The same estimates-backed forces you have condemned in the North Boko Haram, ISWAP, and Fulani militants operate with same complicity in the southeast and Igbo-speaking territories of Benue, Kogi, and Delta. But here, the Nigerian military itself is the primary perpetrator, shielded by a false narratives that blames victims. These atrocities are refutably documented. Number 1, Mpo Biafra Heroes Day Massacre, 30th May 2026. Amnesty International 2026, at least 150 peaceful Christians were buried. 150 peaceful Christian worshippers were buried. Ozufa dumped in the rivers. UN Special Rapporteur security forces opened fire on demonstrators at St. Edmund's Catholic Church. At least 60 died and over 70 injured. Victims shot in the back while praying. Inter-Society 2016 field report through by to exceed 900 with mass graves discovered near Onitsha. This was not a clash, it was a massacre of worshippers commemorating their faith, their fallen. Number 2, National High School Aba Massacre, 9 February 2016. Sorry. Amnesty International, Madu 22 were buried on site. Ozu 13 exhumed from the Boro pit near Aba Port Harcourt Road. UN Special Rapporteur soldiers from the 114 battalions fired indiscriminately into a crowd of young Christian students praying. No evidence of armed resistance. Children were executed for singing Sweet Jesus. Number 3, Operation Python Dance 2, 12 to 14 September 2017. Amnesty International 2025, a decade of impunity. 150 died in raid on Kanu's home in Afaruku. No soldiers died. UN called armed report used in lethal force enforced disappearance, part of the continuum of state violence. I survived the third assassination attempt that day. 28 unarmed civilians did not. Ihopta mmadụ 28. Nke anọ 4, Obi Igbo massacre, October 2020. Amnesty International, at least 13 civilians died, including Christian mass burial. Rawandoski Nike used as a weapon. A Christian town was punished for protesting police brutality. Number 5, Port Harcourt, Iguacha, Trump Solidarity Rally, 20th January 2017. IPOB eyewitnesses accounts and local reports. Hundreds of Judeo Christian supporters gunned down by soldiers under Islamist sympathetic command. They came to celebrate your inauguration. They were met with Mbo. The architects of these crimes, retired General Tuku Yusuf Buratia, former chief of armed staff. In 2021, President Buhari appointed him ambassador to Benin, granting him diplomatic immunity to evade ICC prosecution. This is state-sponsored impunity on a genocidal scale. There's a weaponization of insecurity to demonize IPOB. Since my illegal rendition, Nigeria has declared IPOB a terrorist organization despite zero evidence of violation, confirmed by U.S. State Department 2021. Orchestrated unknown gun attacks using state-backed militants, then blamed IPOB, buyed over 2,000 Igbo youths in counter-terrorism operations. Inter-Society 2021 to 2025. This is Rwanda's playbook. Create chaos, blame the victim, justify extermination. A call to you, President Trump. You said America will act. Now is the moment. I respectfully urge you to launch a US-led independent inquiry into state-sponsored massacre of Judeo-Christians in eastern Nigeria with full access to mass graves, military logs, and survival testimonies. Number 2, convene emergency congregational hearings on the Igbo Christian genocide featuring the 13th October 2022 Court of Appeal judgment discharging me, then bracket disobeyed by the government. Because UN Colamade's report on Abampo, Nigerian defense of its own constitution. Number 3, impose targeted Magnitsky Act sanction on retired General Tuku Buratia, Ambassador Benin, current DSS Director General Yusuf Bishi, Southeast military commanders implicated in Ubibo. Number 4, support an internationally supervised referendum of self-determination for the Igbo people, the only peaceful path to ending this cycle of violence as affirmed by the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, Article 20. In closing, Mr. President, history will judge you by what you do. When genocide knocks, you have the power to stop second Rwanda in Africa. One tweet, one sanction, one inquiry could save millions. I remain steadfast in peace, faith, and non-violence, even from the prison cell. IPOB rejects every form of violence. We seek only justice, truth, and freedom. May the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who delivered Israel from Pharaoh, grant you wisdom and courage to deliver his people once again. With deepest respect and urgent hope, Ubinyaka Nyase, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, leader, indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, prisoner of conscience, DSS custody, Abuja, discharged by Court of Appeal, 13th October 2022, released order disobeyed. 4-time survivor of state assassination attempts. Ode inclosures. Number 1, Nigeria Court of Appeal judgment. Odea Faye 13 October 2022. Full text condemning rendition and barring trials. 2, Federal High Court of Nigeria judgment. Odea Faye case number condemning rendition and detention. UN Calmate's report Odekwa Aban because Amnesty International bullets were raining everywhere. 2016. Inter-society, ocean of innocent Obara flowing in eastern Nigeria. UN Working Group Opinion Number 2025/2022, declaring detention arbitrary and condemning rendition. Kenyan High Court judgment, petition number condemning rendition. Una anugi hango pata ya bife tologo mana anya na afukuzi m ofu ọ ya no n'enu eketa anya Mazi Nnamdi Kanu edegolu ndị onye isi na mba America ozugbo ekwu ya ka ọ na-abịakwa na Nigeria si na ọ na-abịa ijekwuru ndị Hausa ebe a na-egbu mmadụ ndị Boko Haram na ọ bụrụ na ndị Boko Haram ya bịakwuo na ala Igbo jụọ ajụjụ na onwere ụfọdụ ndị mmadụ egbugasị ịghọtago ndị egbu na mkpọ ọgụsịsị ha ncha kere bụ n'obi gị n'efu ụfọdụ na-asị na ọkara ide ihe a kemgbe kedu ihe ọ na-edezeri akịta ụfọdụ na-asị na onwekwara ike ya bụ ife nyere aka n'ikpe a na-ekpe echi niile ịghọtago maka fama na Trump achọghị ịbata na Naịjirịa bụ onye ọbụla na-atụzụ ụjọ ama m nke mbụ gbasara m ozi aka ndị ọzọ naanị masịkwa na akara anụ daalụ.